Welcome to another video session on Signals and Systems, Unit 1. So we're looking into the worked examples. In the previous video sessions, we have seen problems on classification of signals, that is periodic and non-periodic signals. In this session, we will look into another classification, that is energy and power signals. Let us recall the basic understanding on energy and power signals. An energy signal will have a finite energy. So we say that E is the energy of the signal and it is less than infinity and it's greater than 0. So a signal qualifies to be an energy signal if the energy of that signal is finite. Similarly, a signal is called a power signal if the power of that signal is finite. It is less than infinity and more than 0. Next, how do we generalize or how do we get a clue on what is a power signal, what is an energy signal? Periodic signals are power signals. So this one way we can identify. So if there is a signal that is a periodic signal, it is a power signal. So P and P. So that is one way to remember which signals are power signals. Non-periodic signals are energy signals. So that is one way we can easily get an idea on whether the given signal is a energy signal or power signal. For a power signal, will it have energy? Yes, it will have energy, but that is infinity. A power signal will have infinite energy. What about power present in the energy signal? The energy signal will have zero average power. So they are mutually exclusive. A power signal and an energy signal are mutually exclusive. That means a power signal cannot be an energy signal, an energy signal cannot be a power signal. There are certain signals that neither are power nor energy signals. So now let us take some problems and find out whether the signal are energy signal or power signals. If it is an energy signal, we will find what is the energy of that signal, and if it is a power signal, we will find what is the power of that signal. So here are some problems. So first problem, x of t is equal to e power minus at into u of t, where a is greater than 0. What kind of function is this? This is an exponential function and it is multiplied by u of t. Exponential, what type of exponential? Is it a growing exponential or a decaying exponential? It's a decaying exponential because it is e to the power of minus at. So it's a decaying exponential. When we multiply with u of t, we make sure that it starts at t equals 0. So the signal here, it is represented in the function form. If you draw the graphical form, it will start at 0 and continue to t equals infinity. Let us consider one by one. So that is the first signal. Now for that signal, we will find the energy. Energy of any signal can be computed using the formula integral minus infinity to plus infinity mod of x of t the whole square dt. So what is our x of t? Is e power minus at into u of t. So the integral is from minus infinity to plus infinity. Now this u of t ensures, or it puts a constraint that the signal will start at 0 and end or goes on up to infinity. So therefore, the signal does not, from the definition of energy signal for the given x of t, it does not exist from minus infinity to plus infinity because of the presence of u of t. So therefore, the integral will be taken from 0 to infinity because u of t is equal to 1 in the interval 0 to infinity. If you take from minus infinity to 0, u of t is 0, so e power minus at between between the limits minus infinity to 0 will be, the product of these two will be 0. So therefore, we are not taking minus infinity to 0, we are taking only 0 to infinity. So therefore, mod, if you take the mod of that, so there is no sign for this. So therefore, you take the mod and square means it becomes e power minus 2at dt. So when you integrate this and apply the limits, it will turn out to be 1 by 2a, and 2a is greater than 0. So it is definitely, this answer is definitely less than infinity. Therefore, the given signal is an energy signal. So this is how we compute. And as we remember from the discussion, if the energy is finite, we call it as an energy signal. So as I said, if it is an energy signal, it cannot be a power signal. So they are mutually. So we will not check for whether it is a power signal. The next signal, x of t, and looking at it, we can guess that this is a periodic signal, a cos omega naught t plus theta. So theta is a phase angle, omega naught is the angular frequency, capital A is the amplitude of this signal. So therefore, this is a periodic signal from a basic understanding. So a periodic signal is a power signal. So we will not go to find the energy of that signal. We will directly calculate the power of the signal. So where the fundamental period t naught is equal to 2 pi by omega naught. Therefore, the power, the average power, whether we say power or average power, it's the same here. So the average power is given by integral, 1 by t naught, that is to take the average, and integral over a period, over one period of the signal, whether we take from minus t by 2 to plus t by 2 or 0 to t, whatever is the interval, we consider it to be over one period. So here it will be from 0 to t naught mod x of t whole square. So the difference between the energy and power is that here you will take over one period and average it out. Here you will take for the entire set. So when you compute the integral of this, it turns out to be a square by 2, which is less than infinity. So therefore, we have already said it is a power signal. What is the power of this signal? It is a square by 2. The next signal, x of t is equal to t into u of t. So the ramp signal is represented as t. R of t is a ramp signal, that is the representation we have used. But we can also write the ramp signal as x of t is equal to t. So that means we can write the ramp signal as x of t is equal to t or x of t is equal to r of t. Both ways we can write. So we write in terms of t so that it is easy for us to integrate whenever we are trying to find the energy of power signal. All right. Now the ramp signal, to make sure that the signal starts at t equals 0, here it is multiplied by u of t. So whenever we multiply u of t, it is simply that it is getting you're limiting the, or you're ensuring that where the signal will start. So when you multiply with u of t with this function t, it makes sure that the signal starts at t equals 0 and goes on up to infinity. That's what it is. Without this, t can take positive values as well as negative values. But when you multiply with u of t, we are making sure that t is greater than or equal to 0. All right. So for this signal, as we can see, there is no repetition of the signal. So therefore, it is an energy signal is what our understanding, because there is no periodicity. But is it really an energy signal? We will confirm it. Okay, so here I have taken, or it is the energy is computed in a different way. So don't think this is another new formula. It is the same thing. So we had taken it as integral minus infinity to plus infinity mod x of t whole square dt. That is what we have taken it as. But here I have given it as limit as t tends to infinity, integral minus t by 2 to plus t by 2. So if you put t as infinity, this turns out to be minus infinity to plus infinity only. So there is no uh, change in the formula. The act by substituting the values, you get the same answer, but then the notation is different. So as I said, it does not exist from minus infinity to plus infinity when you multiply with t. So therefore it starts from 0 to t by 2 or up, and t tends to infinity. That means from 0 to infinity. And x of t mod x of t whole square means it will become t square dt. So when you integrate this and apply the limit, t tends to infinity. So the t takes the value infinity. So therefore the answer becomes infinity. So therefore the signal is not an energy signal because it is infinity. The energy turns out to be infinity. Is it a power signal? No, it is not a power signal because it is not periodic. It does not repeat after a fundamental period capital T. So therefore, the signal is neither an energy signal nor a power signal, as we can see from this. We are proving that by integrating. So power limit as t tends to infinity 1 by t integral minus t by 2 to plus t by 2 mod x of t whole square dt. So when you integrate this, this also turns out to be infinity. Therefore, the given signal is neither energy signal nor power signal. Similarly, let us take out x of n. So far we have seen problems on continuous time domain. Now we will see problems in the discrete domain. X of n is equal to minus 0.5 power n u of n. So u of n ensures that the signal starts at n equals 0 and goes on up to n equals infinity. So this is the signal. So here it is again given in the function form. If you take the energy for a discrete time signal, instead of integral, it will be a summation. Sigma n equals minus infinity to plus infinity mod x of n whole square. And since u of n ensures that the signal starts at 0, so therefore n will not take from minus infinity to plus infinity. It will take only from 0 to infinity, because from minus infinity to 0, u of n is 0. Therefore, this limits for the summation will be 0 to infinity. And what is x of n is, since we have to take the mod of this, so it will be just only 0.5. And we have to take whole square to the power n. So that will be anyway, if you take the minus 0.5 into minus 0.5 will be plus 0.25. So the whole square, that is what is the result of this. Then whole power n will be this. So it is a infinite series. The signal turns out to be 1 by 1 minus 0.25. So the answer is 4 by 3, which is less than infinity. So therefore, this is an energy signal. The next signal, x of n is equal to u of n. It's a simple unit step function. What is the power of this signal? The power here, we have taken it as minus the summation. We are taking from minus n to plus n. That means minus n to plus n counts 2n, because minus n to 0, or rather from minus n to minus 1 is n number of values, and again 1 to n is also n number of values. So it is 2n, and there is a 0 in between, right? So therefore it is 2n plus 1. So this is the averaging. Averaging means dividing by the number of samples you are taking, or number of elements. So therefore it is 1 by 2n plus 1. So limit as n tends to infinity, 1 by 2n plus 1, sigma n equals minus n to plus n. Or if you are taking from 0 to n, it will be only n plus 1. So we are taking over one period, or from minus n by 2 to plus n by 2, or from minus n to plus n. So whatever we are taking from the formula is the same thing that has to be substituted here. So mod x of n whole square. Now u of n ensures that the signal starts at n equals 0. So therefore it is 0 to n. What is the function value in this range, or when n is greater than or equal to 0? The function value or the amplitude is 1. So we are taking 1 square. This is equal to, so when you find the answer, it will be 1 by 2. So therefore this is less than infinity. So it might be confusing how this is. So you take out n as a common factor in this, that therefore n and n will cancel out from the numerator and denominator. So 1 by n is 1 by infinity. 1 by infinity will be 0. Therefore you will get this as 1 by 2. And half is less than infinity. So therefore it is a power signal. Though we see that u of n does not repeat, but it has a power. So it turns out to be a power signal. So some signals we might be not in a position to tell whether it is energy or power. Only by applying the formula we can conclude whether it is an energy signal or power signal. All right, the next signal is x of n is equal to e to the power of j3n. So here this is represented in the polar form r and theta, where e power j3n is the phase or theta of the signal, and 2 is the amplitude or the magnitude of the signal. So therefore if you take mod x of n, it is nothing but 2. The signal value is 2. So if you find the power of the signal, it turns out to be 4. Therefore it is less than infinity, and this signal is a power signal. You can try for what is the energy of the signal. It will turn out to be infinity. So you can try that as a homework. Next signal, x of n is equal to half power n u of n. We have found that u of n alone, when it comes, we saw that it is a power signal. Now let us see what is half power n u of n. So this is an energy signal, because when you apply the energy formula and then compute, it turns out to be 4 by 3 joules. Therefore this is an energy signal. If you want to find out what is the power of the signal, so you can see P is equal to, using the formula, it turns out to be 0. So therefore, the given signal is an energy signal. U of n alone turned out to be a power signal, half power n, U of n. This is a decaying ramp in a discrete time domain signal. So this is a energy signal. Next signal, x of n is equal to e to the power of j pi by 3n plus pi by 2. So here e to the power of j pi by 2 is just a constant. So that when you take the mod of that, it turns out to be 1. And when you sum this, the energy is infinity. So therefore, this signal is not an energy signal. And if you can recall, this is a complex exponential signal. So you can write this as, by using Euler's identity, e power j theta. Theta, we can take this whole thing as a theta. E power j theta can be written as cos theta plus j sine theta. And as you know, cos and sine are power signals. I mean, it's a periodic signal. Therefore, this is a power signal. That is why the energy turned out to be infinity. So if you find the power of this signal, P is equal to, if you find the mod of this and apply the limits and integrate, and sum it up, it turns out to be 1 watt, which is less than infinity. So therefore, the signal is a power signal. So some problems, they will ask you to find out whether it is an energy or power signal, and find, if it is an energy signal, what is the energy content of that signal, or if it is a power signal, what is the power content of the signal. So we have to find the energy and power sometimes as asked in the question. The next signal is x of n is equal to sine pi n by 3. So this being a periodic signal, we will find out what is the energy. Energy turns out to be infinity. And if you see the power of the signal, the power turns out to be half watt. So therefore, the given signal is a power signal. If the question is simply a 1-mark question asking whether to check whether it is an energy signal or power signal, just by recalling our understanding, we can simply say it is an energy signal or power signal based on whether the given signal is periodic or non-periodic. But if they ask you to find out the energy, also what is the content of energy or content of power, then we have to solve using these formulas and find the energy and the power for that signal. Okay, next problem. X of n is equal to u of n minus u of n minus 6. So this is a unit step function having only 6 samples starting from n equals 0 up to n equals 5. You see, at n equals 6, u of n is also equal to 1 and u of n minus 6 is also equal to 1. So at n equals 6, the amplitude of 1 from u of n and amplitude of minus 1 from u of n minus 6 both becomes 0, because 1 minus 1 will become 0. So from 6 onwards, the signal will become 0. 6, 7, 8, 9, etc. up to infinity, the signal will become 0. So if you draw the graphical form of the signal, it will have only 6 samples starting from 0 up to 5. 0 to 5 counts 6. So therefore, it will have 6 samples with a constant amplitude of 1. All right. Now, find the energy. It is a finite signal and therefore, it does not repeat. And with that understanding, we can simply guess that it is an energy signal. We find out what is the energy content of the signal. So we apply the formula and it turns out to be 6 joules. If you find the power turns out to be 0. So therefore, the given signal is an energy signal and not a power signal. the last signal, x of n equals n into u of n. So when we find out the energy of the signal, it is infinity, and the power also turns out to be infinity. So the given signal x of n, which is equal to n into u of n, is neither an energy signal nor a power signal. So those are the signals. Now we'll take a different type of problem. If they have given a signal like this and find the energy of the signal, how do we solve this problem? So this is a different type of problem. So because the signal having different forms, that means it is different between the interval -2 to 0 and 0 to 2, and the signal does not exist for values below -2 and after +2. So the signal is 0 in all other places. So this is a continuous time signal, and here it is given in the function form. All right, as I said, t means it's a ramp signal. So t minus 2 means the ramp signal starts at t equals -2. If you try to draw the signal, let me try to draw the signal. So if you take this, and this is the 0 instant, and this is at -2, -2. So it will have a constant amplitude. So this will be the starting of the ramp. Okay, this is how it will be. So the slope will be the slope will be 1. All right. So for such a signal, how do we apply the formula? So E is equal to -infinity plus infinity mod x of t the whole square dt. So from this, you know that the signal has different, it is not the same, it is different for different intervals, right? So therefore we have to split this interval -infinity plus infinity for this different intervals. So from -infinity up to plus -2, the signal is 0, so we will not take that interval. From -2 to 0, the function is this. So therefore we take x of t to be t minus 2, and we have to take mod x of t whole square. So we are taking t minus 2 whole square dt. And in the limit 0 to 2, it is 2 minus t. So x of t mod x of t whole square will become 2 minus t whole square dt. So if you perform the integration of this, first you have to find out what is this is looks like the formula a minus b whole square. So if you apply what is that a minus b whole square, it turns out to be like this. And then you integrate each term and apply the limit. So you will get this answer as 64/3 joules, which is less than infinity. So therefore, the signal is an energy signal. And if you find the power of the signal, it turns out to be 0. Because 63 and t tends to infinity means in this, if you put t as infinity, so anything divided by infinity is 0, or in other words 1 by infinity is 0, 0 into anything is 0. Therefore you have answer as 0. Therefore, the power of the signal is 0, and it is an energy signal having an energy of 64 by 3 joules. So this is a variant type of problem. Similarly, we can use in the discrete time domain signal. So how we apply the formula we will see in this. So this is a signal. Again, it is an energy signal because it is not periodic. It has different forms. So just like as I said, the ramp signal can be represented as a t in the function form for a continuous time domain. A discrete time signal can be represented as n in the discrete domain. So this is a given signal. So when you find the energy for this, and the energy formula has to be split again for the intervals. So because the function takes different form between the different intervals, so we have to split this minus infinity plus infinity for those intervals. So it will be from 0 to 3. The function is n square. So n square whole square. For the function for the interval 4 to 6, it is sigma n equals 4 to 6, 10 minus n whole square. And for 7 to 9, it is n. So it will be n square. And again, you can, this is like a minus b the whole square. So you solve this, and then we can find out what is the answer. So the answer turns out to be 369, which is less than infinity. Here, we have simply taken for different values of n. That means n equals 0. So 0 power 4 is 0. When n equals 1, 1 power 4 is 1. When n equals 2, 2 power 4 is 16. And when n equals 3, 3 power 4 is 81. So we have taken from n equals 0 to 3. That's all. So here again, 100, and we have to take for how many values. So when you again take n square and 20n minus 1, so you put the, when n equals 4, you compute the entire function here. So this is n equals 4 means 4 into 20 is minus 80 plus 100 is 20, and n square is 16. So 20 plus 16 is 36. So we are taking here the whole function and evaluating for individual values of n and then computing. This is one way of doing. So we have n equals 4, n equals 5, and n equals 6. So these are the three values you get. Similarly, for this function, we are taking n equals 7, n equals 8, and n equals 9. So these values we get. Therefore, this given signal is an energy signal. Let us confirm that. If you compute the power of the signal, it turns out to be 0. Therefore, it is not a power signal, it is an energy signal. Now let us see how we do this problem when they have given in the graphical form. How do we solve this problem? Now here x of t is given as a ramp signal. But as I said, if it is given as r of t, then we will not be able to understand how to integrate that. So this is what I said. So here we have to write x of t as t. So if you write x of t as t, and since it is a negative going, or it's a negative ramp, that is, it's a falling ramp, so it has a minus t. So it is not t. X of t is equal to t means it will have, let me show the annotation here. x of t is equal to t means the signal will look like this. But since x of t is this way, so it's a negative going ramp or a falling ramp. So therefore it will be signal is x of t is equal to minus t. Now when we put, and it is starting at t equals 0 and goes on up to infinity. So this, and it stops at t equals 2. So therefore the signal will be represented as, if you write this in the function form, x of t, or in this case I've just written it as uh, x2 of t. So x of t will be equal to t in the limit, sorry, not t, minus t, minus t in the limit 0 less than or equal to t less than or equal to 2. So this will be the function form, and this is the graphical form. So if it is given in the function form, it would have been easier to integrate, because it is very clear. It is existing only from 0 to t, and after t equals t more than 2, the signal is 0. So it would have been easier. But since it is given in the graphical form, we have to identify the signal first to integrate it. So therefore, from the understanding discussed so far, we write this as 0 to 2 t square dt. So when you integrate this, you get 8 by 3. So the given signal is an energy signal because it has a finite energy. Next, let us look at another signal. So now you see that this ramp is not starting at t equals 0. It is starting at t equals 2 and ends at t equals 4. Now, how do we write this signal? Okay, we write this as x3 of t is equal to t minus 2. That means it is a delayed signal. So it is not starting at t equals 0. It is starting at t equals 2. So therefore, this is how we write t minus 2. And it exists from 2 to 4. And it is 0 otherwise. So if it is given in this function form, it is easy to integrate. So therefore, the energy of this signal, the by definition is minus infinity to plus infinity mod x of t whole square. But the signal does not exist from minus infinity to plus infinity. It exists from 2 to 4, not from 0 to 2. All right. So this interval is actually from 2 to 4, not from 0 to 2. So it is t minus 2 whole square. Now, if you put this, if you I mean, it is nothing. This is a minus b whole square. So you apply that algebra and find out the integral of this. So it and substituting the values, it turns out to be 8 by 3, which is the energy of this signal. And by looking at the graphical representation itself, we can say this is not a periodic signal because it does not repeat. So therefore, we can easily say it's an energy signal. But what is the energy content of the signal? We have computed using this formula. But to apply the formula, we need the function. If it is given as r of t, we do not know how to integrate r of t. So therefore, we write r of t as t. All right, and it varies depending upon whether whether there is any time shift involved in that. All right, so therefore this is the another concept of representing the signal also is covered in this plotting of signals. Okay, so with that, we have seen so far the classification of signals, and we have seen problems related to periodic and non-periodic signals. We have seen energy and power signals. problems on that. The next, we will take up problems on how to find whether a given signal is an even signal or an odd signal, or for a given signal, how do we find the even components and odd components. Thank you.